Hello everyone! It is Christmas and I'm not there, so I cannot make you any videos. However, because you're super awesome and deserve to be entertained, I figured I will re-upload a video I made a while back for my fellow YouTube pal called Smells Like a Minor. He makes very nice content and so I very warmly recommend him. I will leave the links to his channel in the description below, in the info box and at the end of this video. Please check him out, see if you like him, and if you do like him, maybe treat yourself and him to a nice late Christmas present and click the subscribe button. Until I come back, I wish you a lot of fun and fancy happy holidays with a lot of fancy presents and super fancy food, and hopefully I see you all when I come back. So, number 3 plugs in there and then I should be... Oh! Hello dear Smells Like a Minor fan earthlings! Our dear debunking opus writer ended up by accident in a state of premature hibernation. So I figured I'll keep you guys a bit busy in the meantime, and I want to make clear that he's totally fine. Nobody sabotaged his clock, nobody stole the hidden secret password for his YouTube channel, written upside down under his kitchen carpet, and nobody logged into his account to make blatant self-advertisement. Since you're all a very lively bunch and pretty young compared to me, I figured I'd go for something up-to-date and relevant. The presidential debunk of dinosaurs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and every species in between, dinosaurs are a hoax. At least due to the fellow whose video I have picked for today's guest appearance. I won't reply to the entire video because some parts are completely off topic and referring to comments from a completely different video, and also because I'm a lazy bastard. But if you would like to see the entire video, I'll put the link for you in the description below. Please don't go harassing him, because that's just not nice. Also, it's my job.
So I just had to come back with this video and give an easy to digest overview of why the theory of dinosaurs is completely absurd. And that, you know, there are more scientific anomalies in the theory of dinosaurs than there are evidence that these magical creatures ever roamed the millions.
The theory of dinosaurs? Could you elaborate on that, please? Because usually you use the word theory to an explanation of how something works, whereas dinosaurs are what we call the remains of certain land animals that we dug up from the ground. I mean, it would be the equivalent of you digging up by accident a dead man and then referring to his remains as theory.
Alright, you ready?
Hey! No answer?
Let's begin.
But my answer... Fine, no answer then.
So we're just going to look at a couple of simple facts to show why dinosaurs could not have existed, right? This is an elephant.
It's also not a dinosaur. Sorry, please continue.
Eats a plant-based diet and on average weighs about 6 tons, right? Each elephant that's born must eat for approximately 18 hours per day, every single day, for the rest of its life, in order for it to stay alive.
That is actually pretty accurate. An Indian elephant does indeed spend between 16 and 18 hours a day with feeding itself.
This is a brontosaurus. Also eats a plant-based diet and weighs up to 10 times more than an elephant.
And this is not accurate at all. You see, quite a while back, the estimates were pretty close to 40 to 50 tons. However, the current estimate for their weight is around 15 to 19 tons. The major reason for this change is based mostly on a study made in 2009. But let's assume for a moment that you're correct. What are you getting at?
In order for it to have survived, it would have needed to eat for up to 180, so not up to, for a minimum of 180 hours per day in order to just to survive.
That actually sounds quite plausible. Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. It doesn't. You see, Digestion is not just a combination of size and hours spent eating. A horse, for example, if left grazing, eats for more or less 2/3 of its day. So basically just as long as an elephant. And yet it is much smaller compared to an elephant. A cow, on the other hand, eats for about 6 hours only, and then it sits around lazily digesting for the rest of the time. And not only that, simply by changing the nutrition value of the food or the speed with which you eat it, it can have a huge impact on the actual time the animal spends with eating. A giraffe, for example, has an excellent metabolism and it needs much less food. However, it nibbles on very small leaves, and so it still spends nearly the entire time eating. We don't know much about the Brachiosaurus digestion. All we know is roughly what they might have eaten based on their fossilized excrements, or, to use a more scientific term, their shit bricks.
Alright, believe it or not, even in those days, there was only 24 hours per day. Anyway, this Brontosaurus fella, right, even if it swallowed its food without chewing, just gobbled it down, right, like my dog does, didn't sleep ever, and spent all its time, every single minute in the day, eating, it would still come nowhere close to the level it would need to sustain itself. So therefore, it could not have survived.
You know who is nearly twice as heavy as your 60-ton Brontosaurus and still manages to eat enough food during a 24-hour day? A blue whale. The blue whale can weigh up to 150 tons, if not more. And they eat fucking shrimps.
The fact that these plant-eating dinosaurs wouldn't have been able to sustain themselves isn't even the main problem. That, my friends, would be the shortage of food and water on the lands needed to allow a natural flow between the dinosaurs and the environment. Okay? Australian rabbits, that's right, rabbits have been known to wreak havoc on large tracts of vegetation and cause extinction. That's right, extinction of many species of plants. Ask John Le Bon if you don't believe me.
Oh yeah, very efficient those rabbits. That's right, rabbits. You know who's even more efficient? Grasshoppers. That's right, grasshoppers. Small, obnoxious little insects.
Rabbits cause the extinction of many species of plants. How, you may be asking? Well, consider the effects, I'll get to that in a minute. Consider effects of just these tiny creatures, right? Now consider the daily consumption of just one single plant-eating dinosaur at 13 tons. This Mamenchosaurus, similar to a Brontosaurus, would have to have eaten 1,150 pounds of vegetation per day. Okay, that's probably equivalent to about 10,000 rabbits or so.
Well, first off, we don't know how much a brontosaur actually consumed, so we can only assume a certain amount. However, that aside, doesn't it seem odd to you that instead of citing the devastating destruction of elephants or blue whales, you instead have to point at rabbits? Could it be that there may be a more important factor involved in the sudden destruction of a territory's flora than the size of the animal destroying it? Something along the lines of, I don't know, the speed in which an animal breeds and grows, and maybe the numbers of offspring it has?
How these rabbits cause these plants to go extinct is obvious. They just came and ate them. Okay, if you didn't get that part. So, as you can see, there's not enough food on this land to provide enough nutrition to these dinosaurs.
You didn't really prove the lack of nutrition.
To have that, we just looked at one dinosaur, my friends. There would have to have been thousands, and if not millions, of different little dinosaurs running around, right?
You didn't prove the number of brontosaurus either.
Just imagine like a horde of elephants just running. And just replace them elephants with dinosaurs, with brontosauruses. It's not happening.
As much fun as it is to imagine flying horses, that doesn't really make them real, does it? There is a reason why we have much less elephants than we have rabbits. And there is also a reason why they can survive, or rather could survive, if not for the constant hunting by humans. And that reason is balance. If there are too many herbivores, they have no food and starve. If there are too few, they strive and reproduce more. That goes for small herbivores, and it goes for big ones. Seriously, you must have better arguments than these. I beg you. Come on, give me some... Shit! He must have had a backup clock. Shit! It seems we have a few technical issues and we'll have to continue our discovery of the dinosaur hoax for another time. Bye! Also don't forget to subscribe.